opening this week, Tuesday at midnight, I will not be watching Mandalorian. I will be in a movie theater Tuesday at midnight watching Super Mario Brothers.
Billion, baby.
At
So will you,
midnight?
Ray. You got a ticket for it too.
Oh,
Ray,
wow.
at midnight?
I hope my eyes can make
A midnight
that.
screening.
No.
I honestly don't know how Ray's going to handle this one, but
Oh.
Super Mario Bros., the movie that, by the way, I have predicted will be the #1 box office movie of the year. Now, of course, when I made that prediction, I gave the giant asterisk. I may change my mind once I see it to determine if I think it's going to have the kind of legs that it's going to need. But the movie is coming out, and the first reactions for the movie are now out, and they are pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. Now, but before we get into reading those reactions, what is there to be excited about? What is there not to be excited about this? Because while I'm predicting it's going to be the #1 box office movie of the year, and I cannot wait to see it, I think it's going to be wonderful. There is, one little thing of concern. So let's go over this. Here's the facts we need to know for Mario Brothers. It's being directed by Aaron Horvath, whose only movie he ever made was Teen Titans Go to the Movies. It's the only feature film that he ever made. Now, he's not directing it alone. He's also directing the movie with Michael Jelenic. And if you're wondering who's that, well, it's because he's never directed a movie before. So you have two directors on this Super Mario Brothers movie, and between the two of them, the only feature film they've done is Teen Titans Go to the Movies. Now, they both worked on the Teen Titans Go show, and I will confess that I have never seen the Teen Titans Go show. I did watch Teen Titans Go to the Movies.
Teen Titans Go is pretty good.
Is it? I'll take your word for it. I'll take your word
Titans
for
was
it.
so much better, and then they did some Babytown frolics with Go, and then movie was actually like decent, in my opinion.
I did not hate the movie.
In my opinion,
I did not
Yeah.
hate the movie.
And if you love it, good for you.
Now, here's your biggest thing for optimism is the writer. The writer of the film, Matthew Fogel, he also wrote things like Lego Movie 2, which while I didn't think was as good as the original Lego Movie, I thought was still really good. And Minions: The Rise of Gru, which is now one of Anne's top 10 favorite films of all time. She just watched it like 2 weeks ago, and she goes, "How did I not see this in theaters?"
Oh, wow. She liked it? That's actually pretty good?
She lost her mind over
Ooh.
it. She loved that movie.
Nice.
So that's working a bit in its advantage as well. All right. So as we were saying, the new and the first reactions have come out, and they're pretty damn good. Not all of them. Not all the reactions are great, but most of them are. So let's go over and take a look at this. So Adam wrote, Super Mario Brothers movie review, hilarious and magical delight, a charming adventure with a Nintendo plumbing duo full of fun cameos that'll drain your warp pipes. That sounds like it could be taken a lot of different
I swear I
ways.
didn't write this
Yeah,
down.
baby.
I'm so sorry. I looked right at you. Like, why did you do that?
Bring your pipes, baby.
I'll take their word for it. That will drain your warp pipes. This isn't just another video game movie. It's one of the best family films ever, a fitting and setting up what's next. All right. Randy Jones writes, Super Mario Brothers embargo is up. The Mario worlds are brought to life with top-notch animation and energetic action that will delight kids and fans, full of loving Easter eggs and cameos. That said, it's a Mario movie made by Illumination, and I'll leave it at that. Maybe not a big.
Wow.
I like the Illumination movies. Maybe it sounds like Rendy is not a big Illumination fan.
Yeah,
so there's that. All right. Next, Dio wrote, Super Mario. This one I'm not totally sure I understand, but he writes, Super Mario Brothers movie is not great. That being said, it's perfect. I haven't felt like this for an animated movie since the 2014 Lego movie. Stunning animation and music by Brian Tyler, which everybody was very excited about. It's going to be big. Give me cinematic universe 10 out of 10. So I don't know if he's saying it's not great, but it's perfect. Is he saying it's not just great?
Yeah, I think it was a failed attempt.
Yeah, maybe he should have thrown the word just in there. Okay, so there we got that. Andre writes, the Super Mario Brothers movie is an utterly delightful thrill ride that is as joyful as it's magical. It's a movie that is for Mario fans first, and despite a somewhat shallow narrative, that's the common trend here with a lot of the reactions I was reading. It is a blast. Nearly moved me to tears seeing Mario realize so beautifully. So yeah, one of the things that I picked up as I read a lot more of the reactions than just the ones we're reading here was, I loved it. I had a great time. not the best story, but I had an incredible time. Okay, so that's one of the themes that we've got going on here. Next, Tim Geddes writes, the Super Mario Brothers movie was awesome. Teared up from hype more than once. The music is the star of the show. Nintendo fans are going to be obsessed. I'm not sure any movie in history has ever had this many Easter eggs and good ones. I know that is something Anne's going to be really excited about. University Film Review writes, the Super Mario Brothers movie does not disappoint. A fun and delightful time at the movies for the whole family can enjoy. A definite crowd pleaser. Jack Black as Bowser. I've heard a lot of people say this too. Jack Black as Bowser was perfect casting and was my favorite character on screen. One of the best animated movies I've seen in a long time. Our friend Eric Davis over at Fandango writes, wahoo! The Super Mario Brothers movie is the ultimate love letter to every era of Mario. Oh, it's not, the screen's not updating there.
Yeah, I think
Anyway, I'll continue reading on with Eric Davis. Is the ultimate love letter to every era of Mario. Love the humor and especially Jack Black's Bowser. I felt the same way watching the movie as I do playing the games. It's just joyful. Also, stay for the credits. We want to take a second to thank a sponsor of this video, Mint Mobile. If saving more and spending less is one of your top goals for 2023, why are you still paying insane amounts of money every month for your phone bill? Switching to Mint Mobile is the easiest way to save this year. As the first company to sell premium wireless service online only, Mint Mobile lets you order from home and save a ton with phone plans starting at just $15 a month. You guys know I made the switch over to Mint Mobile a while ago. The process couldn't have been easier, and I can't believe that I am spending less than a third of what I was spending on one of the other major carriers before. By going online only and eliminating the traditional costs of retail, Mint Mobile passes the significant savings on to you. All plans come with unlimited talk, text, and high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and switch easily in minutes with eSIM. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door free, go to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Campea. All right, had a bit of a connection issue to YouTube there. For those of you guys who were watching live, if you weren't watching live, then this means nothing to you. But so we had a YouTube connection issue there for a second, but we are back. We're going to keep on now with the Mario Brothers reactions. And we're going to get to the one from a guy I know I've had on my shows before. Terrific film pundit, a journalist covering the film industry for a long time, Jermaine Lucier. And he really didn't like it.
Oh, wow.
He did not like it at all. He said, the Super Mario movie, I really wanted to like it, but I did not. A few solid scenes capture the spirit of the game, but mostly it's an overly goofy, bare bones plot filled with bad jokes and worse song choices. It looks great, but I was more bored and annoyed than entertained.
Ooh,
so that comes to us from our friend Jermaine Lucier. But then again, it just goes back on. Jimmy Tickles writes, I've seen Super Mario Brothers 3 times now, and I can say it is exactly what you'd expect in the best way possible. So much fan service, Easter eggs, and was made with every audience imaginable that has ever loved Mario, thoughtfully considered. So, I mean, the reactions are what we wanted to see. Now, of course, the early reactions, except for some movies, which we've talked about recently, early reactions tend to lean a little bit more on the positive side of their thoughts because the early reactions, they're allowed to just put out a quick tweet, right? And normally, when you are only able to put out a quick tweet, unless you really didn't like it, you tend to want to focus on the stuff you liked. And so that's fine, unless you're Jermaine, because apparently he really didn't like this one. But apparently, the vast majority of the people are saying, this is really wonderful, and we had a great time, but all of them pretty much consider don't go in expecting major Shakespearean plot twists or whatever. And you know what? To me, that's fine. Movies are experiential events. And if you can find a way to deliver a great experience, whether it's through laughs, through fear, through tension, through interest, through whatever, if you can deliver a great positive experience that makes you smile and leaves you having a great time, I'm all good with it. Anyway, Chris, you've read the reactions from Super Mario Brothers, the movie. It comes out this week. Do these fall in where you thought they would, Are there any things that's surprising you from the reactions? Where's your personal anticipation level for this movie right now? What do you think?
Well, it does seem like it's kind of right on the mark of where I thought it would be. Of this is visually gorgeous. This is really, really fun. That Jack Black is inspired casting, because the minute he was announced as Bowser, I was so excited. That is just such a good get. But I'm really worried about Jermaine's note here, because that does bum me out. Now, granted, I wasn't going into the Super Mario Brothers movie expecting, something really, really profound here. I was expecting a good time. But if it is a very, very weak story, that could be a really big bummer. That being said, though, if you want good Mario storytelling, you can just go back to the games. You can go play Paper Mario. You can have a really fun time with all the Luigi's Mansion shows and everything. But man, I'm a little nervous now about it. I will say it's really nice to hear nothing bad about the voice acting, only the praise of Jack Black and nothing else kind of pulling focus. I was watching some interviews over the weekend with Chris Pratt on the red carpet talking about how he really hopes he didn't ruin anyone's childhood and feels confident that he didn't. And that, I know I've been pretty critical about him being cast in this as well, because I very much would have been okay with a whole feature film of, okay, here we go. But it's really nice to hear that there was nothing that was so upsetting that these first look critics are saying, oh gosh, the voice cast was terrible. I think that was a big concern of most people going into this. So I'm glad that all came together. I'm glad it's really, really pretty. I really just hope that this is a story that I too do not get annoyed by.
I should point out, though, that just to, throw a little bit of water on this, we are, again, for us, the movie opens in 36 hours. So tomorrow at midnight, this will be the first screening I get to go see. While the early social media reactions have been allowed to come out, if you go over, and you can bring up my screen here, if you go over to the Rotten Tomatoes thing, we're 36 hours from this movie come out, and they have not actually lifted the review embargo yet for the full reviews. Now, again, the early reactions are very, very encouraging, super encouraging. But you know me, I think it's a little bit of a red flag when you do not show enough confidence in your movie that you allow the review embargo to be lifted in a proper amount of time. And who knows, maybe it'll lift in the next hour or so, but I thought I'd mention that. Anyway, guys, question is for you. The Super Mario Brothers movie, first reactions are pretty spectacular, not across the board. There are a few people who didn't like it. One note that we're getting a lot, even from the people that love the movie, saying, the story's not the best part of it. So maybe that's a big concern. Whatever you guys think, jump on down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.